And this week on the Quad Interviews, we have a very special guest all the way from Florida, my friend Masha Merkulova, who is the founder of Club Z. We're going to find out all about that. Masha, welcome to Jerusalem.
Thank you so much, Fleur. So nice to be here.
It's great to have you in the studio. Masha, I met you last summer, but we've been following each other for a while. And I'm fascinated by the very cool organization that you created with no fuss and no, noise and no action. You're all action. Tell us about Club Z, how it came about.
This is what happens when you empower a Jewish mother
to
do something about a problem.
Yes.
You see a problem, you can't find anybody who would address it, and you realize, when you want something to be done,
you have to do it yourself.
You just do it.
You look back and you say, who's going to solve this? And then you're like, oh, it's me.
Correct.
So, Masha, what happened? What was the problem that you saw?
So what happened is that I grew up in Soviet Union, having not had any Jewish education, Jewish identity, anything at all. I did have the sense to wanting to live in the United States. Mm-hmm. So I instigated my whole entire mishpocha to move here.
Where from? Where in the FSU are you from?
Belarus.
Belarus, okay.
Belarus. And years later, I found, I made sure that my son went to a Jewish day school. My Chabad rabbi calls it, your Yiddishkeit started to wake up, because there was no reason for me really to send him to Jewish day school. And when he was in 7th grade, it is a great school. But what I realized is that nobody's teaching our Jewish kids about what they're going to face on college campus.
So it was a Jewish day school that you sent him to?
It was a Jewish day school.
So he had the Jewish education, supposedly, but they weren't getting prepared for what? The viciousness? I mean, did anybody really expect that?
There are many people who were surprised on October 8th by the viciousness of what was happening in the streets.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there were a few of us who were not surprised.
Yeah, I was one of them.
You were one of them,
yes.
Exactly.
Because we knew what was going on. So at this point, did you realize that your son was unprepared for facing this once he was in college or before he was in college?
No. This was way before college.
Right.
I started volunteering and I met kids, Jewish kids who received Jewish education, Jewish summer camps, Jewish trips to Israel.
Yeah.
They were at Ivy League schools, Stanford, Berkeley, UC Santa Cruz. They wanted to do something pro-Israel. They didn't know what was going on. They're talking about, Israel is an innovation nation. And the other side is telling them, you're thieves, you're occupiers, you're colonizers.
Yeah.
How do we expect to have our kids fight our battles, by the way, our battles, without preparing them? Do we send the soldiers into battle without basic training and boot camp? We don't. And no Jewish organization was preparing them in any kind of holistic, comprehensive way. Okay. Hosting a 3-hour workshop or even a 3-day workshop once is not enough. You have to work on your kids' identity. They have to wake up. They need to know that they're a Jew. And that if you're a Jew, you're a Zionist. We can't keep divorcing Zionism from being Jewish.
That's what the enemy wants.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they want. So then what did you do? So you realized that your child would be unprepared for college. What did you do?
I told my son, gathered some friends, and this is where the endless chutzpah comes in. This is how you know you're Jewish, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, how hard could this be?
Yeah.
I will organize a group of kids and I teach them stuff. Now, do I have Jewish education? I don't. Do I have any experience? I don't. But at that time, I work in labor and delivery. I'm a registered nurse. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If I could birth babies, if I could help moms teach them how to nurse, if I could do that, how hard could this be?
Of course.
So what started as a once-a-month meetings, the kids wanted more and more and more. And now it grew into this incredible organization with hundreds of kids. Currently, we have about 400 kids across the country.
In high school, which age group?
In high school. So we start in 8th grade, and we can go all the way through 12th grade.
And what do you do with them?
We do the hardest thing possible. We marry 3 things. We give them education about what it means to be Jewish, what it means to be part of the Jewish people, and then we give them Zionism, history of Israel, and skills, how to speak, how to debate, and how to write.
And you do this within the framework of Jewish day schools?
No.
You do it
it's completely outside of the entire system.
Okay.
Yes.
So for kids basically who wouldn't get any other Jewish education.
So yeah, a lot of our kids, most of our kids are unaffiliated.
Right.
Although I do have to say more and more Jewish day school kids are joining because the parents realize that they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars and their kids cannot defend themselves as Jews once they get to college campus.
So basically, Masha, what you're doing is it's a different outlook on what education should mean. You are empowering these kids to be proud Jews who can defend themselves, essentially.
Look at it this way. For many, many years, Hasbara was a burden. Oh, you have to go, you have to speak up for Israel, step up for Israel. Why? If I'm an American Jewish teenager who lives in Miami or who lives in San Francisco or Los Angeles or Boston, even if I have family in Israel, so what? What is the connection? So we flip it. We connect their Jewish outlook to the people of Israel because we understand that we're one people.
Yeah.
So whenever Israel is attacked, it's attack on the Jews. And if you are a Jew, it's attack on you. And now, after October 7th, I don't have to explain it anymore because now people understand that, yes, it will get physical in the United States. People will get into your face. People will attack you only because you have announced yourself to be a Jew.
And I think that another thing that you teach, which is so important, is that essentially Zionism is ingrained in Judaism and you can't separate the two, which is what we're saying earlier. That's what the enemy wants. But you're teaching them that Zionism is an integral part of their identity as Jews.
We're teaching them that Abraham and Moses were Zionists.
Yes, because we were created in this land.
Correct.
And I love your, Masha, what I love about your stuff is that you make it very appealing to young people. Maybe show us some of the stickers that you come up with because I love them and I still have my Jews are from Judea sticker. This is the type of stuff that Masha does in Club Z. Now, Masha, do you think that post-October 7th, the American Jewish organizational establishment is changing in any way to come more to the direction of what you're doing, practical skills building, empowerment, education?
Yes and no.
Okay.
On the good side, on the good news side, we have many, many new grassroots efforts that are extremely successful. For example, in Miami, there is organization, it's loosely called organization called Loving Moms. They started after October 7th, and these are Latina Jewish mamas.
Oh my God, they have to invite me over.
I will have that arranged. I met them recently, and they are a powerhouse.
Yeah.
So they do amazing stuff. In San Francisco, there are multiple groups now who are on the ground, grassroots, who are getting things done. So, for example, a year ago, many city councils across the United States, but it was especially prevalent in California, of course, were holding votes on ceasefire as if a little town in Silicon Valley would make a difference.
Yeah.
We have organized, not Club Z, but the community organized themselves. My kids, the Club Z kids, have given 90 speeches at city councils.
Wow.
About ceasefire, about Israel, about Hamas, and educated thousands of people. So that is on the grassroots level. Do established Jewish organizations understand what's going on? Not as much as they could and not as much as they should, because everybody is looking for a Band-Aid. So it's very popular now to start teen educational initiatives. And again, they make it as, let's do a 2-part series. I'm sorry. No talking points is going to help a kid who doesn't know things inside out. You actually need to have content knowledge.
Absolutely,
you actually have to be educated.
Absolutely you do.
So,
because the other side are throwing slogans around, and we have to actually give the intelligent argument.
Exactly.
Because that's what we do. That's what Jewish people do.
Yes. And we also have to come up with the slogans. So, yes.
I agree.
Jews are from Judea is a slogan. 100%. And, you know, they have free Palestine. Why can't we have free Israel?
Yeah.
Because, again, it's a tool of mass propaganda, and we need those tools.
We do. And also, in a way, the young generation can also teach us what works for them. And I think that maybe is the disconnect, that the established Jewish organizational world wants to tell kids what they should do. But in fact, kids are perfectly positioned to tell us what actually does work on TikTok, which is where most of these anti-Israel activists are getting trained and educated. What would they like to see? And perhaps that's really the brain trust we need to deal with the communications war in this era, that they have to tell us what works for them. And I think that's why what you're doing is so important.
100%. And we need to teach what is relevant to them. So a lot of times the teens themselves will drive the topics and the issues that we're going to be educating them on, because it has to be relevant. They have to be prepared. And, just because your teaching plan in your Jewish day school says, we're going to be learning about medieval times, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's not where the kids are right now.
No. And that's not what they need.
Yeah.
So, Masha, how many kids a year are you engaging?
So right now, this year, we've grown 75%,
wow,
which is amazing, because we rolled out this brand new program. We're calling it Basic Training.
Nice.
And that is literally what it is. It's a series of 8 workshops that are meant to at least introduce these kids. And we have about 320 of them across the country. And then out of the 320, we're going to choose the about 40 best ones. And then they're going to get the leadership training. And that is intense. That is every other week, 3 hours of content education, of skill building, of relationship building.
That's wonderful. And that's really honestly one of the reasons why I joined my party in the World Zionist Congress, Kol Israel, is because we are really singularly focused on the next generation. Mm-hmm. How do we educate them? How do we train them? How we can prepare them for that? And I really do think that we need to have an organizational shift now to move to cultivate the next generation of leaders. And you're doing that with Club Z in such a fantastic manner. Thank you so much, Masha, for the work that you do, for being the advocate and the fierce mom that you are. And we wish you lots of luck and strength in your important work.
Thank you so much, Fleur.
Thank you.